Season 7 comes out next week, October 10th. Included in it is a new Sombra rework, control map Samoa, spooky skins, like they always do for Halloween, but this time with a Diablo 4 crossover game mode as well, and Route 66 gets some cover positions reworked to make it more playable. For Sombra, they removed her Opportunist passive, which was her ability to see injured targets through walls, and adjusted her stealth ability to be her new passive. It starts automatically when Sombra's not taking damage or dealing damage with her abilities. Her translocator is also reworked to instantly teleport her wherever it's thrown. And now she has a new ability, Virus, which is a skill shot that deals damage over time to the target it hits and deals double damage at a faster rate if they're already hacked. There also will be tuning to her machine pistol hack and EMP. The devs say that you'll find her to be more engaging to play with and play against. They say their goal is to allow Sombra to be more committed to the targets she engages with and to have a more active feel to her kit while maintaining her character identity and playstyle as the world's greatest hacker. A small quality of life buff to Sombra is you will now have a detection radius on your stealth, which will be activating automatically, which will make it easier for you to navigate the battlefield without getting detected. Today's video sponsor is Manscaped. As a paying customer for years before they ever sponsored the channel, I get super excited when Manscaped has something new for us. Today we're looking at the Handyman, their brand new compact face shaver. Super sleek design, fits nicely in your hand, grips perfectly just like your favorite controller. The dual blade up top leads to a quick, close shave. It's got a foil shaver and a long hair leveler blade on it, always with Manscaped's skin-safe technology, which reduces nicks and cuts. Travel friendly and waterproof. You can use this one in the shower. I love the design of this one. It looks and feels great, and a real satisfying click action on the cover. It's a compact device, but it's gonna have plenty of battery life for your travel needs, up to 60 minutes of use on a single charge. It features a battery level indicator on the front, which blinks when the battery gets low, letting you know when it's time to recharge. Not gonna lie, I'm gonna keep mine in my car when I'm not traveling anyway, so I can quickly correct that 5 o'clock shadow for that evening date I have planned. This one's super cool, guys. You're gonna wanna pick one up. Head on over to manscaped.com and use our promo code Overwatch at checkout to get 20% off your very own Handyman. You definitely wanna add this one to your arsenal. The Virus ability is a combo piece where you shoot out a projectile on a already hacked target, but you don't want to do it necessarily at the end because it's not a burst of damage, it's a damage over time. Zenyatta players are really going to want to look out for Sombra yet again, because this sounds like it's increasing her DPS overall, though we'll have to see what the actual tuning of the rest of her kit is to know how it's going to function. One thing that's undoubtedly clear, though, is the translocator is a massive transformative change to how she used to play. No longer are you setting it across the map for a massive retreat, which honestly was a bit too complicated for a lot of players to manage because Overwatch heroes want to have maximum uptime in the fight, and the previous version of Sombra was a little bit difficult for players to learn as they would stay AFK a bit too much out of the team fight while everything gets set up. Now it's as if they took that mid-air translocator tech that a lot of top Sombras used in order to get vertical into the sky as just the way the ability works all the time now. And because the stealth cooldown is reduced after teleporting, you'll still be able to make some narrow escapes. Overall, it seems Sombra will perform more like a normal DPS as opposed to just a disabler with low damage output herself, perhaps getting her closer to the DPS archetype similar to Tracer, who's more horizontal. Sombra is more of a vertical with a combo piece. The homogenization of Overwatch characters in the sequel rework has been a bit controversial. For me, I think it makes the game a lot more approachable for a wider audience as well as more playable. So far anyway, I like what I'm seeing, but I'm also a little bit nervous because it's really going to depend on the numbers and the severity of all of her abilities. Having a character that is both a competent DPS pick as well as applying some support-esque debuff can quickly become a dangerous combination. But hey, it's not like we don't already have support characters that are good DPS. That's the entire support cast nowadays. They also give a bit of a preview to the hero balance for Season 7. Even though this is the 5th time they've had to learn this, crowd control is not so fun, so they are reverting the Deep Chill passive on Mei. I assume that means they'll just go back to the way it was in launch Overwatch 2 with the rework, where it was more about dealing damage as opposed to the CC into combo. Perhaps we might expect a similar feel to Sombra now, where the disable is just a part of what she does as opposed to the biggest and strongest thing that she does. They're reverting the changes to Zarya's projected barrier, so it won't be larger, but it'll still have a faster cooldown. Plus, tuning to Orisa, Ramatra, Wrecking Ball, Cassidy, Torbjorn, Brigitte, and Illari. Route 66 is getting a map overhaul of some sorts with new or less cover position in brutal sections of the map. They highlight making it easier to come out of spawn for the attackers, as well as removing some defensive cover positions on point C, where it can feel impossible to actually get that cart all the way to the end of the map sometimes with how much positional advantage the defenders have. The new map Samoa is a control map. The designer said that it feels like the map is giving you a hug, a peaceful island vacation retreat with the near futuristic Overwatch spin take on Samoa. Each control point had its own designer, so the 3 sub-maps play much different from one another. And because there's a bounce pad on one, I'm instantly a fan. And looking at the map geometry, they're pretty clearly reusing a lot of cover spots and angles that they have in other maps as well, but a new interesting spin or mix, as well as just destination, is fine with me. I think they know how to make these maps play well, and the second half of the map list gets progressively more interesting and more playable as we get away from some of those original Overwatch 1 maps, which have like brutal chokes or super obnoxious crowd control spots. Though there is deadly lava on this, I hear, so maybe I have to change my mind on that one. And the new game mode for Halloween is you can battle against Lilith Moira in Trials of Sanctuary. In their first ever crossover game mode launching with Halloween Terror, you'll descend into battle against the demons of the Burning Hells in an all-new co-op survival brawl, Trials of Sanctuary. Fight as one of the 6 different heroes: Demon Hunter Sombra, Barbarian Zarya, Knight Raven Illari, Cleric Lifeweaver, Impervious Reinhardt, and Inarius Farah, while facing an onslaught of unrelenting forces in a fierce battle for survival. Challenging bosses wait along the way, including Asmodon, Wrecking Ball, Butcher Roadhog, and Lilith Moira. They also tease some small RPG aspects to this mode, where Reinhardt could pick up a sword to increase his stats, I assume. That Queen of the Bride Junkenstein upgrade was pretty well received, and I think these free modes actually offer a bigger bang for your buck, let's say, in your time, because the paid modes were underwhelming to me, but the free ones that are more simple, lower in scope, I think they do a pretty good job on so far. But we'll have to see when this comes out October 10th. If nothing else, the skins look killer, but then again, they always do really well with the Halloween theme, and I guess I have a soft spot for Diablo, being a fan for so many years. Importantly, they did mention that the Roadhog rework is going to come out in the mid-season patch, so be on the lookout for that in about a month. Transitioning us now from Season 6 to 7, I'm at a weird spot thinking about Overwatch because Season 6 was supposed to be the big moment, and I don't think it landed the way they would have liked it. As a dedicated player, I'm enjoying these sort of off seasons with less content more for a few reasons. Because I actually like to play the main game. When they rework maps or add new ones, that adds a lot of value to me, but most importantly of all is when they actually get the balancing under control. We've been quite lucky that with the 5v5 format, you can still pick a lot of other things, and while there's different oppressive things that can hit you hard and fast in Overwatch 2, at least it's not just one thing always. The diversity of our community skill set really helps get the most out of the hero roster, so that game to game, I still feel like there's a lot on the table that can be used and played on the different maps. So as long as they keep adding maps, we avoid what I think did happen in Overwatch 1 forever, where too often was there too easy of an answer of what heroes you had to play all the time. There's a severe imbalance in the way that the roles are performing right now. Alec Dawson on Twitter said the playability of tank is something they're looking at, and he said they're looking at Discord Orb, which is not even really cutting it as part of the main conversation, in my opinion. So I gotta be honest, the balancing of the game, I don't see improving at a drastic level for quite some time, and we're just lucky that the format is fun enough to allow for various heroes to be played. And honestly, we've entered kind of an overly complicated power creep era of the game pretty quickly. It took a while for Overwatch 1 to build this kind of momentum with an overall theme of like there's so much in the game that is viable at the same time, and brutal that if you don't learn the game widely, the numbers tweaking they're going to do gradually over time isn't really going to reclaim much. The rules of how the game plays are kind of set in stone now, and without a philosophy change where they want to make a goal of a certain play style for the game to function as, let's say like simple tanks can do their job without needing multiple resistance cooldowns just to survive, or maybe like more skillful DPS heroes should be rewarded in the game as opposed to cooldown based ones, which require either less aim or are more about abusing the healing stats from the support line. And do we really need supports to be more competent at dealing damage than damage heroes? Railguns are bad unless a support hero has them. It's just the inconsistency of some of these rules I'm getting a bit thrown for. So we're gonna have a lot more to discuss about Season 7 looking into the future. And the key theme that I want to nail home to the developers is that it isn't about hero performance. That's not what balance is. It's about the playability of what you expect the certain heroes to be capable of doing, and when they aren't doing the thing you think they should, it's a bit of a letdown for your gameplay experience. It doesn't matter if the performance of the win rates are somehow panning out the way you would ideally like to see them. You don't experience the game as a series of win rates on your heroes, but they've kind of pushed the game to be about counterpicking. So you better jump into that rock, paper, scissors meta if you want to enjoy this game at a competitive level. Flex players rejoice, One Tricks good luck. I eagerly await the balance update information for Season 7. Guys, let me know what you think about everything coming out in Season 7 so far. In the comment section down below, is the Sombra rework making her a bit too similar to other heroes, and are you worried at her potential power level? Supports have been pretty powerful for a while now, but introducing a character that has a damage combo ability coming out of stealth might be just the single DPS answer to some of those woes. Or, you know, a living nightmare if you're a Zenyatta player. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave it a like, and don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon to actually get notified when our videos come out. That's been it for me. I've been Frito for your Overwatch. I'll see you guys next time.